There's a moment every surgeon hits, and it's one of the most powerful, painful realizations in their entire career. It's the moment you'll look in the mirror and you don't fully recognize the surgeon staring back at you. I'm Dr. Tyler Goldberg, founder of NAOCA, and today we're talking about the internal shift surgeons almost never admit out loud. The slow, quiet erosion of identity that makes you feel like you've become someone you never intended to be. When you start this journey, you know exactly who you want to be. You want to be intentional, present, meticulous, connected, thoughtful, respected. You want to be in control of your craft. You want to be proud of your work, aligned with your values. You imagine being the surgeon who never rushes, never compromises, who never loses himself in the machinery of medicine. And early on, that's exactly who you are. But the system, well, it's slowly going to reshape you. Identity erosion doesn't happen in a moment. It happens by little inch. It happens when you shorten a conversation you wanted to have longer. It happens when you rush a decision you wanted to think through. It happens when you say yes to a case you should have pushed back on. It happens when you speed through clinic instead of connecting. When you show up exhausted and pretend you're fine. It happens when you stop having time for intention. It happens when you feel more like a technician than a surgeon. I'm sure we've all felt that. 1 inch at a time, you drift away from the surgeon you trained to be, and you don't notice the drift until suddenly you do. There's always this one moment, that subtle little moment when the truth hits you. Maybe you're standing at the sink after scrubbing. Maybe you're finishing charts at 11 p.m. Maybe you're looking at your schedule for next week. Maybe you're watching yourself moving through clinic like a machine. Maybe you're just getting ready for work in the morning and you think, this isn't me. This isn't who I was supposed to become. How did I turn into this version of myself? That's the identity disconnect, and it hits harder than burnout. Burnout hurts your energy. Identity loss hurts your soul. The real pain isn't the volume. It's not the hours. It's not the admin. The real pain is feeling like you've betrayed your own standard. You know the surgeon you want to be. You know the surgeon you could be, but the system forces a version of you that doesn't resemble the original one you wanted. And that tension, it creates resentment. It creates this quiet, deep guilt. It creates frustration, confusion. It creates emotional fatigue, a quiet sort of sadness about who you are. You're going to lose pride. This is why so many surgeons feel internally fractured, not because they're weak, but because they're misaligned with their own identity. Here's the truth surgeons rarely voice. Your identity never really disappeared. It's just been buried under misalignment. It's buried under overbooking, volume pressure, admin demands, chaotic workflows, constant interruptions, endless decision fatigue, and it interrupts by a system that rewards throughput over intention. The surgeon you train to be, the surgeon you loved being, that surgeon is still inside you. You're just suffocating under the model. Concierge Orthopedics doesn't just fix workflow, it restores your identity because it gives you time, it gives you space. It gives you margin. It gives you presence with your patients and yourself. It gives you intention and control and pride and joy and love of doing this great profession again. It restores your humanity. When you finally practice in alignment with who you are, you recognize yourself again. That's the entire mission of NAOCA. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt disconnected from the surgeon you used to be or the surgeon you wanted to become, you're not alone. I was there. I'm Dr. Tyler Goldberg. Email me at founder@orthopedic-concierge.com and tell me what part of yourself you feel like you've lost, one surgeon to another.